Hello everybody, welcome back to another Expeditions Guide. Today we're going to be taking a look at the negative changes contract in the SlipRock Swamps. As you can see, I've got two trucks with me. We're going to be using the Tuz Action and the Scout 800 to complete this mission. Both trucks have a set of anchors. The Action also has a jack screw. I also have a portable rig that we're going to have to deploy for the mission, as well as some extra fuel for the Action. So, to start off, we're going to leave the field operations base with our Scout 800 in tow. And we're going to make our way across the river ford here. And I'm going to try to stick to the higher points here so we can get across. Use a little bit of a winch here to pull myself out. It kind of sunk in there. So the reason I brought two trucks with me, and you'll see when we get there, is this contract has several different objectives that are both in opposite directions of each other once we get to the divergent point. So I'm going to take the Scout to the first objective, which is the conduct a visual inspection of the rift. And then once we get that dropped off, we're going to swap back to the Action and complete the remainder of the mission. So we're going to go ahead and go across our bridge here. And once we get across the bridge, we're going to go follow the shoreline and make our way up the hills here. We're going to cut through all this brush here. Until we get up and over this mountain. It is kind of slow going because we are pulling that truck behind us. I do have it running, which is fine. And once we get up here, we're going to kind of cut to the left of this rock and go right in between these trees. And that is going to get us down here, where I am going to go ahead and swap trucks. Make sure this is off. It is. Okay, cool. So, swapping over to the Scout 800, we are going to go across this way. I am just pinned on a tree right now. There we go. And we're going to head up the west side here. And then we're going to make our way down this hill. Because where we're trying to go is right over here, and then from here we're going to swap back to the Action and follow this path over this way for the remaining objectives. That's kind of our game plan to get this finished. Once we get over these rocks, we're going to go ahead and just follow the shoreline on this little lake here. And once we've made it to the other side, we're going to go ahead and just kind of follow these little valleys here. Being very careful not to flip the truck over. Watch the angles. I'm going to go right over this rock. And from here, we're going to head straight across the pond. It is kind of slow going, but this mud is no match for the Scout. And once we're over here, we're going to look for the low spot. There it is. Right next to this tree. We're going to go down and up across and up the other side. And we're going to go ahead and just drive through this clearing in the forest, through all the shrubbery. And once we get to the other side, we're going to go to the left, around the back side of the forest. And this is going to take us to our first point. So we're going to go ahead and do the little photo inspection here, take a look at this gorge. Ooh, that was close. I almost missed it. There you go. Impressive funnels. We should scan them in more detail. But we're not going to scan these. We're going to scan some other ones. So I'm going to go to the map, and we're going to swap back to the Action. And we're going to head over to the next point, which is right over here, to scan with a drone. So we're going to follow this path down here. And we're going to make our way down to this little pond here. And we're going to go around the outer edge so we can go through the forest on the other side. Once we get down here, we're just going to drive right along the shoreline here. We got this high spot here. We're just going to drive right over it. If we try to go to the two sides, that can cause tipping issues. And we're going to go around to the right side of the rock here. And we're going to go around this one on the right. And there's an airdrop here, so we're going to stop and get some resupply before we head on out. We got jack screw, we got a crystal, and I'm going to go ahead and just top off the fuel tank. Now we'll grab those and some extra fuel. Alright, we are on our way. So once we get here, we're going to kind of cut in between these trees. And we're going to snake through the trees a little bit here. And then we're going to kind of stick to this clearing once again, weaving in between the trees. And once we get up here, we're going to go to the right side around this big rock. And then we're going to go head on into the Fun Canyon here. You've got to be careful here. So you don't want to tip the Action over going through here, but it is narrow enough that the truck can fit through. I'm just going to pull myself on a tree here. Grab these trees on the other side. And with low gear and some diff lock, we're going to pull ourselves right out of here. So we're going to go ahead and continue to follow this clearing in the forest. Which will take us right over here to a bridge we built earlier from another mission. If you haven't had this bridge built already, it is 75 parts, so we're just going to go ahead and go across our bridge. And from here, we're going to go over this way and cut across on this high spot through this little canyon here. It's going to get us up on the other side. And then from here, we're just going to drive past. This is the gateway to the Mountain Labyrinth. We're not going to go in there. We're just going to drive past the gateway. And we're going to head up this upside here. And we're going to go up to the right between these rocks, and then come down to the left between the rocks. Just kind of snaking our way through there. Go up over this tree. And we're just going to continue to follow the clearing in the woods here. Go right across this stream. And we're going to stick to our path through the woods here. And that's going to take us to the right. This is the right way to go. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and head on down in here, using the winch for some balance. And from here, we're going to back up and go up this other side here. Go over this fallen branch. And from here, we're going to just cut our way through the woods here. There we go. And we're going to make our way across these rocks here and navigate down. Being very careful not to go too fast. We don't want to hit these rocks at a bad angle. And once we're at the bottom, we're going to go ahead and just kind of follow the path here, which is going to snake us around to our waypoint. And once we get around this way, we'll be able to head on over to our scan point. So first we got to get across this little gap here on this side. And then we're going to use this rock in the middle here to go around this side. That's going to take us up and across, where we're going to go ahead and scan with the drone. Surface scanning did not give us the desired results. Deep rock samples need to be obtained. So, now is where we had to go install the portable rig that we have brought with us. So we're going to go up and follow along where we just scanned. And we're going to have to do a little bit of zigzagging here, trying to make sure we don't fall into these pits. And once we get around the pits, we're just going to kind of follow the clearing in the woods here until we get across. And we're going to go down into this little pond here and up across the other side. And then we're going to go ahead and just drive right on over to the installation point, which is right here. Install the portable rig. And this contract is complete. This rewards a high mount snorkel for the Con Marshal. So I hope you guys enjoyed the guide. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.